All right, so here on this model, we can see that we have the quadriceps muscles that are visible. Generally, they're all going to have the same function except for the rectus femoris muscle, which is this one. So the rectus femoris muscle attaches onto the pelvis here. So that means this muscle is going to be able to contribute to hip flexion along with knee extension. But all four of these muscles are going to be able to contribute to knee extension. And there's no way to really isolate any one of these from the others, with the exception of the rectus femoris, but we'll get to that in a second. Underneath the rectus femoris, we have the other three. These ones all originate onto the femur, so we have the vastus medialis, vastus materalis, vastus lateralis, and vastus intermedius. So all of these all insert onto the patellar tendon here, so it really doesn't matter like what angle you try to extend your knee at under a knee extension machine. It's going to work all three of these muscle groups relatively evenly. There's no way to really isolate, any one particular quadricep muscle from the other one because they all have the same function. They all have the same insertion point. So exercises that are going to grow the quadriceps is going to be any kind of knee extension exercise. So that includes squats, deadlifts, split squats, leg presses, any kind of machine-based movement. All those are going to grow the quadriceps. The only exception to that being the rectus femoris, because during any kind of double extension exercise, as would occur in any kind of squat, leg press, deadlift, split squat variation, even though the knee is extending and thus shortening the rest of the quadricep muscles, you also have hip extension occurring simultaneously. So you don't have a lot of active force generation on the rectus femoris, and some studies have come out that have shown that the rectus femoris sees substantially less growth than the other quadricep muscles during these double extension type exercises. So that doesn't mean we can't grow it. We can fix either the knee or the hip and then have movement at the other joint, and then we can have that muscle actively contribute towards force generation. So an example of that would be any kind of sit-up variation by fixing the knee doesn't move, and then we flex the hip under load. You see examples of this in like decline sit-ups, regular sit-ups, GHD sit-ups, certain knee raise exercises, a lot of like hip flexor dominant movements. You'll see that during those exercises. Alternatively, we can fix the hip and then we can isolate movement at the knee, and that would be under any kind of knee extension exercise, whether it's seated leg extensions on the machine or we used some kind of dumbbell variation. All of those are going to train the rectus femoris.